Why is everything made of plastic? Plastics are so widespread in our natural environment that microplastics are present everywhere, including some of the most pristine areas on Earth. The trash and plastic that accumulates on our streets, sidewalks, and ditches from people littering, trash blowing out of trucks, overflowing from outdoor trash cans, doesn't magically disappear. I wish more people realized that there is no away. When people say to throw something away, the trash stays right here on our planet. Every piece of plastic that has ever been thrown away is still here on Earth. Just because you no longer can see it doesn't mean it isn't still here. Most marine debris is plastic that comes from mismanaged waste, fishing gear, and the manufacturing of products. It's hard for me to accept that 13 million metric tons of plastics enter our oceans every single year. Most of that plastic comes from litter. When it rains, that litter is washed into storm drains that flow directly into streams, and from there only a small amount of the trash is deposited on the floodplains, but the rest is carried downstream to the coast where it floats out to sea. Do people realize that 92% of the litter that washes into creeks that drain into the Neuse River is plastic? Most of the litter comes from urban streams. Even from the plastic that is disposed, only 8% is recycled in the US, while 77% ends up in landfills. So why don't companies change their packaging to be more eco-friendly so we are able to recycle more? Climate change and plastic waste work together in a positive feedback loop, moving marine ecosystems further away from stability. Expansion of industrialization increases plastic production, and through improper disposal of waste, runoff, and illegal dumpings, the waste makes its way to the water. Larger pieces of plastic, known as microplastics, entangle and suffocate organisms. Over time, the larger pieces break down into microplastics, which is anything less than the width of a pencil eraser. These are the hardest plastics to target the prevention of. They leach toxins and chemicals that are often mistaken for food and ingested by organisms. This leads to biomagnification of plastics, where the food chain experiences a buildup of toxins through consumption, eventually reaching humans. We don't even fully understand the toxic effects of microplastics in organisms, as well as in us. Some of the chemicals associated with plastics have been found to affect hormone production, insulin secretion, and cause cardiovascular disease, among other health effects. When animals we consume have plastics in their stomach, those plastics end up in us. Without governments and industries prioritizing preventative measures, all ecosystems continue to be at risk of further damage. If everything is made of plastic and there's no easily available alternative, then what are we supposed to do? It's not our fault. I know there's definitely things each of us can do to reduce plastic waste, like not using single-use plastic. But it feels like it's something out of my control and something so insurmountable that it can't be tackled as an individual, because we're surrounded by single-use plastics all the time. It makes me feel so powerless as an individual.